Un saludo a todos los espectadores de Portadas al Día. Yo soy Jorge Roy y me vine hasta la ciudad de Nueva York para estar presente en el estreno mundial de la nueva serie de Netflix Día Cero, un thriller político protagonizado por el 2 veces ganador del Oscar Robert De Niro.
You need to let them. You want to stand by and offer your support and your prayers, that's great, but please just do it from behind the barricade.
Tuve la oportunidad de conversar con él y también con la joven actriz Lizzie Kaplan que interpreta a su hija en esta serie. Veamos qué nos contaron.
How are you guys?
Okay.
Good.
I'm really nervous. I don't know if it's because of the show, because I just finished it last night, or is it because of the interview, but I want to congratulate you both. You have an amazing show. And,
thank you.
And I want to start with you, Robert. If my calculations are correct, this is your first time playing a president?
Yeah.
Okay, so how hard is to lead anything this day, even more a country, right?
Yeah, it's hard. I had met Eric Newman. I talked to my agent about wanting to do something in New York for a long period of time. And we talked about a limited series. So I met Eric. He introduced me to him. We talked about, he had this idea and so on. And that's how it all came about. He'd send me, he gave me what you call a treatment of the overall thrust of the story, and then later episodes. And it was well written, smart. So I was happy and I wanted to do it.
Yeah, and that same can be told about Alex. Her journey in the show, it's amazing. And I want to know, what was the most challenging part about it for you, Lizzie, as an actress?
I guess the most challenging part was to try to make this character who does a lot of terrible things not come across as a fully terrible person. Mm-hmm. And then it was important to juggle not only the professional stuff that's going on and the worldwide scope stuff, but the relationship within the family. Mm-hmm. Alex to her mom and her dad, especially her dad.
Yeah, and Robert, in the show, you're surrounded by such talented actresses and females behind the camera also. What can you say about, you have Lizzie here, she was her daughter at the show. What can you tell about all the female presence in the show?
Oh, it was great. Everybody was terrific. Leslie Lincoln Gladder directed all 6 episodes, which I was concerned about. Not just, I've heard, and I've not had, this is my first time doing a limited series, mm-hmm. but where a director will come in after two of them and do another, and that's okay. I guess if they're really great directors, they're going to add something very personal in what they've shown already and what they've done in their careers. So I was happy that Leslie did all 6. I was going to, because that was, as I say, a concern of mine, and she was terrific. I mean, you're jumping from one episode to another, you're jumping all over the place. And every time we'd start a scene, she'd come up and give us where we are, what we're doing, because I'd figure out where are we, here, there. And she was terrific. And she was my daughter, a little ungrateful, as kids can be. But other than that.
And Lizzie, it must be in every actor's bucket list be related to Robert De Niro somehow. So how does it feel working with him?
It was all right. It was okay. No, it was amazing. I feel like
she's just sick.
It was okay. I mean, I don't think that you can necessarily assume that you're going to get such generosity from another actor when, he doesn't need to give anybody generosity. And he did, me. And I really appreciated it. And it was a joy.
Again, guys, congratulations and thank you for your time.
Thanks.
El elenco de esta serie lo completan 3 grandes actrices, Joan Allen, Connie Britton y Angela Bassett. Tuve la suerte de conversar con ellas 3 que me contaron sobre su experiencia trabajando en Día Cero.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm really excited about meeting you and to talk about this show. And I want to start with the President Mitchell. I love how, because people expect that presidents are problem solvers and they have like a magic solution to everything. And I love to see the humanity in a president that doesn't know all the answers and that is capable to ask for help when she needs it. And I love that about your portrayal. How was for you to be part of this show?
Absolutely, I agree with you. I mean, how could one person know the absolute right answer to any question, especially questions that, are so humongous and will affect so many. It's a huge responsibility. So they rely, of course, on, hear from this one, which is pretty much kind of what I do with my life. People who have got good sense, who are brilliant at what they do. And then when you get all of the information before you, what's the best path forward, but you're certainly never doing it alone.
Yeah, that's the kind of leadership we need everywhere. So Angela, what was the main thing that attracted you about this project that made you want to be part of it?
Well, I think main thing, I've never been a part of this kind of a series, a thriller, political thriller. So that was a first. That was a new realm, new genre for me. This role, of course, presidential, that representation, pretty incredible. And of course, to reunite with Robert De Niro. It's been about 24 years since 2001 when we were partners together in love. Now we're partners in non-crime issues in The Score. So all those three things, along with a fantastic, amazing director that I had worked with before many years ago, and whose work from Homeland and different things I admired greatly, and knew that she had such a handle on this genre, this type of series. I thought, okay, the best company ever.
Yes.
This commission is the single greatest affront to civil liberties anyone has ever attempted.
The latest.
Thanks. And welcome.
Thank you.
We should.
Yeah, we will.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Really excited to be here and to be talking with you because I enjoyed the show. Well, I enjoy it as a viewer, but the themes and all the things that we see in this show are really to be worried for it. But it's a really entertaining show. So I want to start with you, Joan. Your character had been previously described as the moral compass of the show. And where do you think Sheila gets this clarity in this chaotic world? Where do you think she gets it from?
I think that's just who she is as a person. She and George have a long relationship. And I think that it's been one where it's been a very tight partnership, and he likes her input on different, decisions that he's making. And I think she likes giving it. And I think it's a very mutual arrangement. And I think she's an honest and forthright and pragmatic person. And so I think that just makes her choose to act in the way she does, because I think she is kind of has an ability to look at a bigger picture, and she's also very willing to do about anything necessary to make sure that George is okay.
Yeah.
She believes in him, and she believes in his politics, and so strongly, and that she will do almost anything that she has to make sure that he's fine and protected.
I love your relationship so much. I almost feel like too, your character is almost a beacon of integrity for him, and I think I love a powerful woman in relationship to a man, and I really saw that, like, you kind of, in the simplest way, you keep him honest.
Yeah.
And in this show, we have plenty of the strong women. And I love that about the show. And especially about Valerie, when the character starts in the series, we have little information about her. And the information we have is not quite good about her. So I was like judgmental at the beginning. But once she steps in the role, and you get the sense that the things are starting to go right for George in this time. So how was for you to play a character that has all this past behind them, and she has to put that behind and start working again with this guy?
Yeah, it was interesting it's a little bit, it's a departure for me to play a character like that. And also in the midst of, we have so much plot in this show. So much going on, and yet I'm playing a character that has these very intricate details to her life that are ongoing and all stirred up with these relationships. Yeah. And so it was a fun challenge to sort of balance out those elements where she is having to literally guide and stand by the most important man in the world at this moment in time, and also navigate the intricacies and intimacy of that relationship.
Día Cero ya se encuentra disponible en Netflix para que puedan disfrutar de todos sus episodios. Yo me despido por esta semana, les dejo mis redes sociales, @mrroic, Mr. Roic, y nos vemos la próxima semana con más de Cartelera en Acción.